Good morning everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So what can we say about Forex? I suppose the one word that comes to mind is yo-yo at the moment. We are in a trading range, so that's our trading range. That's pretty clear. We are making these little breaks below trend lines, so there was a nice solid channel that was moving to the top of the trading range, and we sold off. Okay, and that's typical what happens in a trading range. Until you get a solid close above the top of the trading range, your sellers are going to keep coming in off the top because there's no indication that you've had a break of that trading range. Okay, and that's exactly what happened, not so much last night, but going into the close. So if we just come down to the hour, you'll see there is our trend line break, and we are now what looks like forming another stab at the top at the moment. Okay, could also just reject this area that it's coming into now. So I just want to delete that diagonal, and there's a couple of scenarios here. So the first one is obviously a short out of that area, so it's a retest of this. I'm not really a fan of that because this thing is still ultimately moving up, so the trend here is more to the upside than it is the downside. Yes, we've broken a trend line, but we haven't tested it. Okay, so for me, if this level does hold, then you've pretty much got a double top scenario, and you're looking to move down into this zone here. Okay, the other little picture here is that trend line there. So if that holds, you can see the intersection of that trend line is where are we? Come on, give us a number. There we go, 118.538. So that's the area to be watching. If this gets rejected, I'd expect to move to the upside. If this area gets broken, 118.545 broken, and we find support there, I'd expect another move to 118.880. Ultimately, for me, this is still sideways, and we're way too close to the top of this range for me to start worrying about breakouts at the moment. So this is a sit on hand scenario for me. I do anticipate it moving to the upside though. Okay, and the reason for that is basically what I'm looking at on USD Japanese yen. So we've got quite a few levels that we're bouncing around at the moment. Okay, so there's a previous high there, and a lot of these levels of the downside are on the weekly as well. But if we just look at the hour, you'll see trend is down. We're sort of hovering at the moment, but for as long as we're below this moving average and we're coming up to test breakouts, I'm looking for opportunity to sell, and target areas are 103.617 and ultimately 103.358, and that is a weekly support that we need to get down to. Okay, so that's kind of my view on the dollar at the moment. So the dollar is falling against the yen. I expect it to continue falling, and therefore if I look at the euro, my view is at the moment that we're going to have another test to the top of this. Whether it's from this area or a little bit further down, I'm not sure, but that's pretty much what I'm expecting. But again, for both of them, for EurUsd, I think I'll sit on the sidelines. Dollar Japanese yen, it's worth paying attention to this, looking for the next squirt down. Okay, Euro Aussie dollar, nothing really much going on here. We are sideways. So as yesterday, we were looking for a break above 163.296, or alternatively a break below 161.545. At the moment, we're just hovering in the middle of that range. Now, if I just come to the hour, you'll see it's a lot clearer here. So below the moving average, above the moving average, below the moving average, and now look at all that barbed wire that's forming at the moment. So that is a sit on hand scenario for me. Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. So we were moving pretty much to the upside, and that was our measured move. You can see how close we came to it. So that's pretty much done. Measured move is done at the moment, and next move, who knows? By the looks of things, we are still channel bound. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. It's a messy channel, but we are channeling to the upside, if we can use that as a word. But ooh, look at that mess. Sideways. Okay, so sideways price action at the moment, hovering between these levels. Inside the channel, I'd be reluctant to be looking for shorts here. You make a little squirt down and then another messy move back the upside. So this is sideways at the moment. Again, it's sit on hands for me there. British pound, Japanese yen. So we had all this consolidation yesterday, and looking like it was bouncing off area of support, and now we sort of broken down to the second level of support here, coming up at this trend line. Another messy one, which is not filling me with much joy at the moment. So you can see for how long we were going sideways, and now we've had a little squirt down. Now, one thing to point out here, whenever you have this kind of price action, so you have a big move down and then you're sideways for so long, and often you get this squirt to the downside, which is a proper exhaustion bar. And you can see that opened close to its high and then closed very close to its low on a level. So that is typical of an exhaustion bar. So you can see it try to get to the level here, try it again, and then keeps going sideways, and eventually have this massive squirt down onto the level. So you need to pay attention to this. It may just bounce off this area, but again, ultimately this is sideways at the moment, so I'm also sitting on hands with that one. Aussie dollar, US dollar. A US dollar, but we've just looked at the other two US dollar pairs. This one is not much different. We've got some buyers coming in down here. We've had this break of flag, pretty much. There's your flag there, and we've retested the flag now, but we are now going sideways. So the confusion still reigns, and you can see we are going sideways above and below the moving average. Unfortunately for me, this is another one where we need to sit on hands. This gap is also still open. Put it there. So there's the gap there. We haven't quite closed it. So 0.72683 would expect that gap to close, and that's probably going to form the bottom of a new range. Okay. So for me, I'm not interested in it right here. Definitely would be looking to take a stab somewhere down here and just pick up the other levels here. So there are a few levels in this area. So between 0.72683 and 0.72592, price gets down to here, and we start getting some bullish price action. That would be a fairly decent area to buy into, but take your profit. More than likely is 0.72874. If that gets through, then top of range 0.73269. So that's probably the only one that looks like there is something happening. British pound, Aussie dollar, definitely nothing happening here as well. Let's look at all these tails here. Let's move this to the middle. So look at all these tails. The buyers are coming in this area, sellers are coming in this area. So if I just put another level up there, price is just stuck between there, those two levels. So to the upside is 181,950. To the downside is 181,290. One thing to point out here is lower highs. Okay, there's lower highs there, and lower low here. But let's just wait for this bar to finish, and if this finishes here, that's a higher high. Then what you have the making of, if I can get my mouse to work, is a pretty large consolidation. Okay, so bear in mind, for the fractal to be formed, it needs two bars either side of it. So it needs two higher lows here, or higher closes. So at the moment it's fractal, but if it bounces below that, it's going to destroy it. So what you may find is it bounces below and then does that. Okay, in other words, comes all the way down and then starts staying on this range. But for me, that's sideways. Moving average is flat. Look to the left, what's happened in this zone. all over the place, not worth even getting involved in. So yeah, guys, I think the consolidation of Forex is going to continue for pretty much the rest of the month. So be very cautious and keep those stops tight. I don't see much trading opportunity at the moment. May change in the blink of an eye, you never know. But what I'm looking at now, there's not much happening here. And sorry, there's just something that I've missed here. That gap there, you can see the buyers coming off the gap. That's actually not closed. It's just tails here. You need a full body to close onto that gap. So that's also open, which is obviously offering some confusion here as well. Anyway, irrelevant. We're not going to be trading this, so we'll wait and see. The other thing is on the indexes, there's also a lot of sideways action, price action at the moment. So lots of confusion in the markets, and I think proceed with caution. Keep those stops tight, or just sit it out, be patient. The breakouts are going to happen. They are going to start happening. It's not going to consolidate forever. Something's going to give shortly. And when it does give, the breakouts are going to be pretty sweet, and the trends are going to be amazing to trade. So you just need to be patient and hold on to your capital, waiting for the right time. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.